the Snowshoe Parachute March Brown. Great fly for springtime on the Truckee River, the Yuba, a lot of California streams. We're going to use some hare's ear dubbing for the body, Cote de Leon for the tail, tan-dyed grizzly hackle for the hackle. For the wing, we're going to use some snowshoe rabbit foot, natural ginger color. We'll tie this on a TMC 100 in a size 16. Alright, we're going to tie our Snowshoe Parachute March Brown. Start with a little Dave's Flex Cement on the hook shank there. Drop the bobbin. Okay, start. That was a cut. Okay, let's tie a Snowshoe Parachute March Brown mayfly. Put a little Flex Cement on the hook shank. Just going to wrap a nice little underlayer of thread right to the point just over the barb of the hook. Wrap back forward just a couple turns ahead of the halfway point. At this point, select a small clump of snowshoe rabbit. I'll tie it in actually backwards, so the tips are back here and the butt where I trimmed it from the foot is at the front. This is a nice fuzzy little parachute, very easy to see. That snowshoe rabbit has a nice quality of translucence once you treat it with floating. Just brush out all the excess junk there. Now we're going to post that wing. I'm just wrapping thread up that wing post to create a little rigid area. It'll be easier to wrap our parachute style hackle around. A few odd fibers at the end there. Just snip those away. Our Cote de Leon feather, we're going to use that to form our tail. Just gather a few fibers there. Tie them in like so. Not catch too many of the fibers. March Browns are a little more robust mayfly than the blue wing olives or PMDs, so it's okay if their body's a little plumper, a little shaggier, kind of like a western green drake. They're just naturally chunkier buds, so you want to imitate that with your fly designs too. Grab a little bit of hare's ear fur here. This has got just a very small amount of tan UV ice dub mixed into it for a little extra sparkle. Spin that on nice and smooth. I like to put a turn of dubbed thread under the tail to elevate it a little bit. It's a parachute pattern. We're relying on the parachute hackle to keep it floating, so the tail can be cocked up a little bit. I'm just twisting the hare's ear dubbing a little tighter there. Again, have a few wild fibers. I'll just trim those out. We've got our dubbed thread here. We can select and tie in our hackle now. I want it to be slightly oversized. Get a hackle gauge. I want to use about a 15 size hackle on a 16 fly and a 13 size hackle on a 14 size fly, and so on. Just prepare the hackle like so. I'm going to tie it in on the far side of the wing. Just using the dubbed thread to tie it down. The dubbed thread catches in the little indentations in the hackle stem where we pulled out the fibers, so it really does tie the hackle down very well if you do it that way. We'll trim off the excess there. Grab our hackle. We're wrapping counterclockwise around the wing, starting at the top and wrapping downward. When you go to finish off a parachute pattern, just pull the hackle stem across and over the eye of the hook on the far side from you. 2 or 3 good tight turns will lock that down. And then trim off the tip. Grab your hackle plier. I use a TMC mid-size whip finisher, not a hackle plier. And you see how you can work it under the parachute hackle, like so. That way you don't catch fibers of your hackle. Fly stays together nice and neat. Get a nice bright fly. Notice how translucent that snowshoe rabbit wing is. Very easy to see on the water, very effective under fishing conditions. These flies float like little corks. The last thing we'll do for a little final measure of durability, I'm just going to get a very tiny drop of Flexament right on my bodkin tip, and I'm going to put it right at the base of the wing and the hackle. We'll let that soak in. It'll glue that hackle stem to the wing base, and the fly will stay together a lot longer because of that little extra durable step. Thanks. Find out more at renoflyshop.com.